Caligula, born Gaius Julius Caesar Germanicus, was the third of 6 children born to the popular Roman general Germanicus and Agrippina the Elder, granddaughter of Emperor Augustus. His nickname Caligula, meaning little boot, was given to him by soldiers in his father's army due to the miniature soldier's boots he wore as a child while traveling with his father. Despite his later infamous reputation, young Caligula was adored by the army and the Roman populace. Tragedy, however, marked much of his early life. His father, Germanicus, died under mysterious circumstances in 19 AD, possibly poisoned on the orders of Emperor Tiberius, Germanicus's adoptive father and Caligula's great-uncle. After his father's death, Caligula's mother and older brothers fell out of favor with Tiberius and either died in exile or were executed, leaving Caligula one of the few surviving family members. In 31 AD, at around age 19, Caligula was summoned to the island of Capri, where Tiberius had withdrawn from public life. For 6 years, he lived under the scrutiny and control of Tiberius, learning to navigate court politics and perhaps beginning to develop the darker aspects of his personality. According to historians, Caligula adopted a mask of obedience and humility, hiding his hatred for Tiberius and those who had wronged his family. Rise to power. Tiberius died in 37 AD, and while there were rumors that Caligula or the Praetorian prefect Macro had hastened his death, it remains unproven. Caligula was named joint heir alongside Tiberius's grandson Tiberius Gemellus, but he quickly assumed sole control, either convincing or forcing the Senate to annul Gemellus's claim. The Praetorian Guard and Senate welcomed Caligula's rise, seeing in him the blood of Augustus and the legacy of the beloved Germanicus. His ascension to emperor was initially met with widespread joy. Caligula gave bonuses to the Praetorian Guard, provided public games, and recalled political exiles. For a brief time, his rule seemed promising. The descent into madness. Just a few months into his reign, Caligula fell gravely ill. Though he recovered, ancient sources describe a marked change in his personality after the illness. Whether this was due to a genuine neurological or psychological condition or whether the stories are the result of later Roman historians' embellishments is debated. Caligula's behavior grew increasingly erratic and autocratic. He demanded to be worshipped as a living god, building temples and erecting statues in his own honor. He reportedly even ordered a statue of himself to be placed in the Temple of Jerusalem, which would have incited a massive rebellion if not for the diplomatic intervention of Herod Agrippa. He is said to have engaged in cruel and bizarre acts, including mocking senators, executing on whim, and indulging in lavish orgies and debauchery. One of the most notorious tales, though possibly apocryphal, is that he made his horse, Incitatus, a priest, and proposed to make him a consul, symbolizing either his contempt for the Senate or a descent into delusion. Caligula also embarked on strange and ill-conceived military campaigns. During one, he ordered his legions to collect seashells on the northern coast of Gaul as spoils of the sea, possibly as a mock triumph against the god Neptune. These campaigns served more to demonstrate his eccentricity than to achieve strategic goals. Public works and administration. Despite his madness, Caligula did oversee several construction projects. He completed aqueducts such as the Aqua Claudia and Annio Novus, began work on harbors, and improved roads. He also attempted to reform the grain supply to prevent famine. However, these accomplishments were overshadowed by his cruelty and misrule. His reckless spending, extravagant games, and constant demands for divine honors drained the Roman treasury. To replenish it, he resorted to extortion, confiscation of property, and heavy taxation. Assassination and death. By 41 AD, resentment had reached a boiling point. His erratic behavior, open insults to the Senate, and even humiliation of the Praetorian Guard alienated many. A plot was formed, and on January 24, 41 AD, Caligula was assassinated by officers of the Praetorian Guard led by Cassius Chaerea. His wife Caesonia and young daughter were also killed. The assassination threw Rome into chaos. The Senate briefly considered restoring the Republic, but the Praetorian Guard declared Claudius, Caligula's uncle, the next emperor. Legacy. Caligula's 4-year reign is remembered as one of the most controversial in Roman history. Ancient historians like Suetonius, Cassius Dio, and Tacitus painted him as a deranged tyrant, though their accounts were written decades later and may have been influenced by political agendas. Some modern scholars argue that these stories reflect senatorial hostility more than historical fact. Still, his reign remains a symbol of unchecked power, madness, and the dangers of imperial autocracy. Whether he was truly insane or simply corrupted by absolute power, Caligula's name endures as a cautionary tale from the Roman Empire's turbulent history.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel.